Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general mini-cross reading for July 2021. I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. I have with me today the Radiant White deck, Levita Sibilas. You will get an opportunity to pose 2 questions. One question to the Psychic Oracle Tarot and another one to the Marseille Sibila cards. Okay? So, let me turn the camera around. So we can go ahead and get started. There, I hope you're able to see that. Okay, I'm going to put one more rifle and one more shuffle. On this. Alright, here we go. What is at the crux of the issue at this moment? The King of Swords. What is the foundation of this issue? The Devil. Wow. What is the near and distant past? The 5 of Swords. Wow. What is the unknown factor? The Fool. Well, that's quite interesting. Ah, it makes sense. Okay. What is the near and energy of the near and or distant future? The Sun card. Isn't that very odd indeed? Uranus, the Sun, and Saturn. Maybe this is talking about some type of astrological configuration happening for this King of Swords, or maybe even for you with this King of Swords, okay? We know that the King of Swords is an air sign male. He does represent the sign of Aquarius, so perhaps you are, if you're not dealing with an Aquarian male, then this is you, even if you are female. In your masculine energies as this king, who is logical, objective, rational, keen, can be fair, can be just. That's in his positive. Someone who knows exactly what they think, and they don't mince any words. Now, if he's in his negative, he can be someone who's extremely overbearing, will run over you, can be extremely cruel, power hungry. This card. And so to have these, the Fool card sitting above him. Now, I will tell you that sometimes, and mostly that's the Magician, but sometimes, well, let me just stop right there. We'll get into it later. What is over the energy over the entire reading? You know, this page has come out for almost every other sign. This Page of Cups has shown up for almost every other sign. So I'm not exactly sure what this page is trying to tell us, but he's made enough of an appearance throughout all the zodiac signs that I've done thus far for me to take notice of that. Okay? I don't know, for some of you this might be someone you, like an ex that you've been battling with, maybe over a kid. That's first and foremost. I find the positioning of this king to be quite intriguing because he is below the Fool, but above the Devil. If this card was like this, and he was below the Devil, then that's a different story. But he's like this. I do feel this is something new. Maybe you don't know this particular King of Swords yet. As a profession, he would be military, paramilitary, police officer, security guard, Or he would be a doctor, a dentist, a soldier, even a scientist, someone where either sharp tools are used to get the job done, or keen intellect, or even both. But it appears that he's been in a battle, a fight. See, there's those three figures there. But there's also these three figures. Okay? Now, I will say the devil is not always a negative thing. Basically, the devil, representing the sign of Saturn, is really about commitment. What do you commit yourself to? Okay? This is about rolling up your sleeves and doing the hard work. Okay, so I know that I want to go get that, I don't know, that new car. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to chain myself to this job, and I'm just going to, I'm going to do it. And then when I get enough money, I may have to fight somebody over it too. I don't know. Right? Okay? But that's what I want. He represents the physical material plane. Clothes, shoes, smoking, drinking, food, sex, all of those guilty pleasures that we enjoy. But we need those things. We can't just be all work and no play, right? We need to have those things so that we can enjoy life. Why do we work? Why do we do the things that we do if we can't enjoy it to a certain extent? So this being in the past tells me that there's been an argument or a fight or maybe even a separation here. And maybe the relationship that he was in previously, okay, was one of really a lot of power issues and control, fighting, manipulation, those kinds of things, which brought about this fight. Because then we see this liberation of this, the Fool shows up, talking about a brand new start, a brand new adventure with the sun shining over on the other side. So the first thing I want to do it depicts a situation where one has to think very carefully before making a final choice. Well, it looks like the choice is made and everything's okay, whatever that choice is. It indicates a new phase of life about to begin. It asks that you abandon the old to begin something new. It says that it is sometimes necessary to take risks in order to force change. Use discernment, though, as sometimes it is wiser to stay put. It can indicate that it is important to trust your own judgment and plan for the future, but to do so wisely. It infers that a great journey in life is about to begin. It often suggests that the time for change is coming and may be telling you that it is time to face reality. It signifies that past mistakes must be looked into as lessons that were learned through experience. It is an indication of being at a crossroads. It is a message to look at your own mistakes of the past, as many lessons have been learned, and you are urged not to make the same mistakes again. Learn from the past. Now, the question becomes, is this really the way he is, or is this speaking about what he's been through? Does that make sense? So the only cards we can look at, we only have one that we can look at, the Five of Swords, as it relates to the Fool, the Sun, and the Devil. And I would venture to guess that, oh, well, here it is. Okay, the Five of Swords. Fives are numbers of changes, ups and downs. And it's a focus on bitterness and frustration. It may be indicating a victory or achievement which has been well-deserved and long awaited. It tells of achieving or receiving something that you have wanted for a long time, and it is indicating that you may reap the rewards of past efforts. This is a card of victory, so when it appears, it is saying that what one aspires to will come to fruition through concerted focus and effort. It may also imply that one has been involved in a conflict and that the nature of the conflict is that no one will win, as all parties involved will sink to any level to win. The result is unhappiness and grief for both parties. It is an indication of a separation, permanent breakup of a partnership or relationship of some kind, due to the choices made by another. Temptation. It may be telling of the breakup or severance of an important relationship or partnership and indicates the abrupt parting of ways. Boom, I'm out of here. It may be warning of malicious gossip and of losing something or someone of importance to you, unfair dealings or theft, so you are asked to remain wary. I don't think that doesn't quite feel right, but we're going to look. It suggests that there is a need to regain one's composure before stepping forward again and going ahead with plans. It may be indicating that you have been acting in a selfish manner and may have been focused on self-gain. When this card appears next to the devil, it is indicative of careless spending, unwise investments, and financial hardships and distress. So be warned. And maybe that's telling us he got some financial issues going on that he ain't telling us about. Maybe it's some addiction of some kind, drinking or drugs or porn or gambling. Don't know. But that's all we can look at. So the question, and it doesn't tell us anything next to these cards, right? So let's take a look at this devil card. What is the crux? What is the foundation of this issue here? It's quite the interesting reading. You know, maybe this, I don't know. Let's just see what the cards have to say. Shall we? What I was going to say, and I'm going to bring it up, is that this might be someone who might be struggling with something. Maybe they previously, even though this is not really a battle card, it kind of is. And if this person is maybe military or ex-military or paramilitary, something like that, even a police officer, they're struggling with, you know, what they've done in that situation. Does that make any sense? L'amica, the friend. This card keeps showing up. The desperate jealousy. And the falsità. Wow. So there's a Queen of Wands. I think this individual is still tied to this person in some way, or that maybe he's trying to get away from this person. Again, there's some kind of tie here because this is what we're looking at. See, the two are chained together, even though we see in the past here. So this could be the idea that there's somebody, maybe he broke up with somebody, but there's a woman who's still lurking around. And if this was a divorce and they had a kid together, then of course she's going to still be around because that's the mother of his child. Really ugly cards. Let's see what this Five of Swords has to tell us. Because I think in looking at the stance of the card, he has his sword up against that. That's 6 swords. In other words, I'm trying to get away from that shit. Why? Because I'm ready to start over. There's the sun here. But remember I said it was odd that the devil showed up at the bottom? That he's sitting above the devil? It's just odd. So let's see. You think I'm done with that? Okay, so that's really what I'm hearing him say. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So, this is another male. The Dottore. And then the Vecchia Signora. Odd cards. This is a known enemy. This is somebody that is either known to him or known to you, if this is you, okay? Somebody you had a battle with, and that you may have had to go and receive some specialist help with. Okay, he's not just showing up as the doctor, okay? He's showing up as sometimes it's a situation in which only someone with a specific type of expertise, okay, can help and assist. Maybe that's why he won the battle. All right? But it is this card, the Vecchia Signora, who kind of doesn't make any sense to me. She is the two of... Now, sometimes this card can indicate being of two minds. If I am not mistaken, let me go back. Actually, the keywords can be travel and or visit, but basically stability, tradition, an older woman, and good advice. Now, the card says, this card typically will represent someone age 60 or over, but more often than not, it represents a grandmother, an aunt, an elderly mother, or an old female relative, often a widow, but not necessarily so. The person is neither good nor bad. It is her character. Well, it's not even that. Because the second meaning represented is a wise woman who is able to give good advice based upon her life experience and or affection for the person. Usually she is, if not wealthy, financially secure and can offer a helping hand. Generally speaking, this card represents life experience, good advice, tradition, conservative views, and a harmonious family environment. It represents a person who is able to give very sound advice and has a good perspective on the situation. It can also represent someone who has accepted a situation and has learned to cope well with it, because it suggests resilience, wisdom, and inner strength. Another representation represents the end of a phase or the waning of some kind of situations that are about to terminate and or decline and or something that is losing its hold on either this king or you. It has a mild association to short journeys, visiting and receiving a visit from someone, day trips, running errands, and small excursions. It also foretells of a slow change, of a structural change, or a situation that will resolve itself over time. It indicates that time will heal whatever adversity is indicated by other cards. In love, it indicates someone who is attached to their family, to traditional views, and to the love of one's extended family. It can also indicate a deep love, not based on shallow motives or physical appearance, but based on common interests and a true soul connections. It can sometimes indicate a lover from a past life and or a soulmate. It represents someone who is wiser than his or her years, and it can also indicate nostalgia, attachment to the past, and to the way things used to be. And I'm not looking at this as a female. I'm looking at the card in the sense of those things that I just read to you. Accepting a situation and learning to cope with it. Someone who is a traditional person, who is attached to their family and has traditional views. And if this card is simply representing that emotion of love, then it speaks about someone who's capable of deep love, not based on shallow motives or physical appearance, but based on common interest and a true soul connection. Indeed, it could even be a past life lover or soulmate. And maybe that's what that is, because sometimes he can represent a past life enemy. But that doesn't explain the doctor in the center. And I honestly just feel that this person the allegorical meaning of the doctor represents something, either a situation, a type of behavior, a bad habit, a grudge, a broken heart, some kind of trauma that needs healing or fixing, because it is at the root of the person's problem or crisis that they may be undergoing at the present moment. It highlights the urgency to reconsider and change a flaw so that the person can attract a better future. But it also indicates that the person will put enough effort into their own self-improvement and will resolve the problem successfully. It often means that help will be offered by someone who can make a difference, and maybe that's who she is. Now, in love, it can indicate a woman who wants to fix her partner, but less frequent but also true, it could be a male who is trying to fix his female partner. Usually this is someone who with a university degree, the person that can represent an investor, a doctor, a scientist, a judge, or a lawyer, or something scientific research. But it can also indicate, in particular, career advancement and a period of intense work. That is quite interesting. So, I'm not exactly sure if the cards are telling me. I don't think necessarily that, simply because of the way he's sitting, his stance, that this is somebody with something to hide necessarily. It may be that they won't come out and tell you right away until they can trust you. We're talking about the decisions and thinking things through. But I do get the sense that this is somebody that either is dealing with or has dealt with. In effect, he's kind of got a handle on it, right? But the person is still lurking around, and this residual energy is still being carried forward. Who this Il Nemico is, this could even be, and I've seen this card show up sometimes when it speaks about being your own worst enemy. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you're in relationships with people that has this kind of energy, you end up becoming somebody you don't even know. Right? Does that make any sense? So there are lots of options here. So whomever this person is, if this is someone new in your life, I would say take it slow, get to know them. That's it. You don't have to do anything else other than that. So let's go to the Psychic Tarot Oracle card. Formulate your question. It is the 9 of Cups. Holy smokes. Marseille. All right, and just because these scary cards have shown up doesn't mean this is not someone that can't what do you call it, be a decent person. It doesn't look like there's any violence here in terms of him, although he has the capacity to do so. And remember when I said it might have been a fight against somebody over like a child or something like that, like a divorce, but it was due to whatever the hell this is. And that guy, but I just get the sense that, you know, it could be, you know, so, you know, play it by ear. This is what I have for you. What does the card say? Struggles. Well, that's for sure. Fulfillment of wishes. The 9 of Cups. Isn't that interesting? This card, being one, if not the most positive of the minor arcana cards, represents emotional satisfaction, contentment, and enjoyment. Your wishes are coming true. Are you ready? Happiness, success, good health, completion, and accomplishment of your dreams and goals are in the palm of your hand. This card acts as a reminder to hold on to the beneficial feelings from accepting and receive what you have asked or strive for. Know that these will assist you in the future when you may need inspiration and positive energy. This is the right time to heal those past memories that have been holding you hostage. Forgive others and yourself so that your wishes, desires, and goals have a clear, unobstructed path to your heart, soul, and life. The Struggles card. Number 29. Determination in achieving goals and solidarity in defending the weak. The advice is to be determined and convincing. See, you heard struggles, you thought it was going to be something ugly. It just says, be determined and convincing. That's what I have for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for July. That's a very interesting reading. I hope those messages helped you. And until next time, be well and stay safe. Namaste.